What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Random Sunset. Again, it's your host, Site Dolo. Uh, Normally, we pick from the doggone drawing box to see which topics we're going to discuss. Right now, I just took it upon myself to say, you know what? Let's talk about the streets. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the streets, man. Uh, I'm not the only one. I know a lot of times, we all get it. What street? You know what I'm saying? Like, what street? What is street? All right, you know what I'm saying? Is it the slang? Is it hood? Is street and hood? Is it the same thing? I mean, if you come from the struggle, if you come from a low income family, does that make you street? Uh, if you sell drugs, if you hurt folks, if you know what I'm saying? I guess degrade women, does that make you street? What is street? You know what I mean? And that's what we're here to talk about. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you the Webster definition of street. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that's what the people are referring to. And when I say people, meaning white, black, Asian. I mean, you name it. I mean, to be street smart. If I had to, if I had to guess what street is, excuse me, I would guess that street is being able to keep up with the latest slang, the latest style. You know what I'm saying? To be on point when it comes to interacting with people you don't know. I mean, that's if I had to guess. You know what I'm not street. I mean, I'm not street. I'm not hood. I'm conservative. All right. I'm married with children. I like my lifestyle. I like where I'm at in life. And I can't say that it's been that way my whole entire life now. I mean, I grew up on government assistance, whether it was Section 8 or food stamps. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that defines the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, a lot of people struggle and go through life hard. Does that make them street? I'm not convinced. All right. I mean, again, is being street, is that one of those things where it's like, okay, we live by a code and this is how this go? I mean, is street and being gangster, is that parallel? Is that the same thing? Like, what is street? You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, guys, I'm only here with any show or any episode you've seen of Psydolo. I'm only here to create a dialogue, all right? The things I feel like we have to talk about, whether it's politics, entertainment, the streets, future/AI, love and relationships. I mean, something for the community or for the ones that just engage in the way, you know what I'm saying, I talk about and discuss issues, political issues or religion. You can name any topic you name is right here. But anyway, back to the streets. If I was to go and get a mouthful of goals, look mean. Does that make me street? If I go and get scarred up, shot up, does that make me street? Does that make me, does that make me hood? Okay. And the reason I'm asking these questions is because I want people to get involved. And again, I think as a people, we have to create that dialogue because, see, here's my thing. From a lot of the rap music I grew up on, from a lot of the people I grew up around, everybody mentioned streets. Everybody mentioned hood. Everybody mentioned gangster. Now, my idea and my version of gangster is the ones I've seen on Goodfellas, the ones I've heard about here in Atlanta, the Gambino family. You know, and that these again, it's just my version of what I know to be gangster, hood, a street. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, here's a group of guys, I mean, that dress nice. I mean, they got nice suits on. They don't degrade they women. You know what I'm saying? They got businesses. They got the paper route, got the flow coming in, you know what I'm saying? The moolah, the paper, the bag, whatever y'all call it, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I know to be gangster from the Al Capones, the Frank White, you know what I'm saying? Who's some other gangsters, you know what I'm saying? That wear those nice suits and you know, take care of their families, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go home. You know, I heard whatchamacallit say that. I think that was in Goodfellas. You gotta go home. Don't sit here and doggone run away from doggone wife or whatever the hell you done got yourself into, nigga. You gotta take care of home. That's gangster. Alright? You walking around with your pants hanging off your ass, being illiterate. Does that make you street? Does that make you gangster? Because you can't open your mouth and you don't know how to speak. You don't know how to doggone hold the dialogue. You don't know how to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? Does that make you street? Coming from a low-income family, does that make you gangster, hood, or street because you come from housing development? You need the government assistance, in other words. Housing development. So in other words, if the government experimented with low-income folk, meaning you doggone lack finance, not just finance, but education, and now they got you grouped into this confinement. What the hell you think gonna happen? If you got a bunch of folk that doggone lack education and finance, and the government done grouped them together and gave them what they call housing development. Cause see, what got me to this point is how I listen to a lot of young folk and a lot of rappers, you know what I'm saying, talk about projects. I'm from the project, I'm from the hood. Housing development. Alright? Housing development. Whether your mama was paying $40 a doggone month, whether she doggone, you know what I'm saying? Like housing development. Anyway, let's move forward. Government assistance. Food stamps. I grew up on food stamps. That way nobody don't feel some type of way. I even grew up on it. You know what I'm saying? And I know it to be a stepping stone. You know what I'm saying? When I say a stepping stone, meaning if you up under this tax bracket, or you know what I'm saying, you make X amount of dollars annually, then you know you get some government assistance, and that's the whole beauty of a democracy. Even though I know a democracy to be no such government, but we'll say that for a political discussion and a political topic. No, it never spoke on that in the Bill of Rights or in the Constitution. It's no form of government, and not just that. You're gonna see and tell me the majority of the people want hamburgers. 51% of the people want hamburgers, 49% of them want pizza. But since this is the majority that they rule, no. Anyway, that's another discussion. But back to this whole street thing. When people glorify the streets, and when I say people, man, a lot of young brothers like myself, meaning whether you label yourself African American, whether you label yourself a Negro, whether you label yourself colored, all of those are titles. You know what I'm saying? We have to know from whence we came and who we are. You know what I'm saying? So back to this whole being street. Does that mean, like, what are the benefits of being street? What are the benefits? I mean, because if I had to guess the benefits of being street, meaning the people I grew up around, the music I grew up listening to, the benefits of being street is to be able to be hip. You know what I'm saying? And when I say hip, meaning the latest slang, the latest style. Being able to doggone hold your weight amongst people that are aggressive, that come from all walks of life. Because you got Asian folks, meaning the triad, or whatever go on in doggone Hong Kong, whatever go on in major cities, you got street people everywhere. And I hear a lot of street dudes talk about that, at least on the music that I grew up listening to, meaning real people are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? When I say real people in the streets, in the streets, when I was coming up, and I refer to the streets meaning The ones that know code, you know what I'm saying? The ones that know that, that can speak that talk and know that language and go places and be able to hold their weight. Meaning, I can go on this side of town and I'll be all right. This is why I be all right, because I'm street smart. You know what I'm saying? And to be street, you have to be smart. So if you ever hear anyone mention street smart, if I had to take anything away from what I learned in my environment or my confinement, then being street is being smart. And again, like I said, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, leave a comment. Join the show, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you have to, of course, be VIP to join this show right here. This is Random Sunset. When the sun go down, we have a little nightcap. You ain't got to have no nightcap. You can be in the right vibe, the right space, and, you get to come on this show. It's some old VIP type stuff. So if you ever see any special guests on here, please believe they VIP. So anywho, like I was saying, to being street, for me growing up, I identified it with being smart. All right? Meaning, if you was working a triple beam scale, you got to have some sense. If you were going to go and negotiate any type of drug deal, whether marijuana, blase, etc., you got to have some damn sense. All right? Now, what I'm getting from these young folk that glorify being street is something else. So let me not venture off, but like I say, let me just go on and paint that picture of what I was painting of my idea of what I thought street was. You know what I'm saying? Being able to hold your weight, be able to go on this side of town, interact with we'll say whites, being able to interact with low income type folk. Come from, be able to go to the slums where people are neglected and be able to interact and not be afraid and be able to hold your own weight. And like I say, and blend in and get love. You know what I'm saying? Type stuff. And like I say, that ain't no American heritage version of being street. That ain't no Western version of being street. But it's just what I thought being street was, meaning being street is being part of the jungle. All right? Being part of that jungle, meaning you got to fend for yourself out here. Meaning you figuring out a way to eat, figuring out a way to sustain life. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, and being able to bang with the best of them. And just a quick scenario, when I mentioned that jungle, meaning we'll just say a wild dog. If you're a wild dog and you're not domesticated, then you got to feed yourself. If you're domesticated, then you got somebody there to pet you, prepare you a meal, go and get a bag of dog food, whatever the case, some water, etc. Shots and all of that stuff. You're domesticated. You grew up in, you know what I'm saying, in a different type of, well, I can't say confinement, but keyword domesticated. It's self-explanatory. You've been domesticated, but to be of that jungle, you gotta fend for yourself out here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make a way. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to that question that I mentioned in one of my songs back when I used to entertain. I had a song called Money, and I start the verse off like, is it a crime to survive? Is it a crime to survive? So if you out here in the jungle, and we know that money is a necessity in this matrix or in this game that we can call the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Money is a necessity. If you know a certain way to get money for you to sustain life, are you wrong to just for surviving? Listen, this person over here got it. I don't. I need it. I gotta have it. Is that person wrong? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to looting, I see an opportunity to get this, to get that, for me to come up, for me to be able to sustain life. Am I wrong? The only thing I see with making that wrong is the lack of knowledge, meaning if you a person that make poor choices and poor decisions, then hell yeah, that's going to hinder you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to prevent you from being able to live an American dream Meaning you don't know how to get out here and apply thyself to say, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna work. I'm gonna go out here and hustle in a way that it don't harm anybody. Where I don't have to take a purse from an old lady. Where I don't have to sell drugs to kill people, whether white, brown, green, blue, short, tall, thick, small. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna hustle and bustle, and I'm gonna find a way to sustain life. I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity. Forgive me, I'm just gonna move this out the way real quick, tight. Excuse me. But yeah. So the question and the answer I want to know coming from you guys, because we creating a dialogue. I want to know y'all take on what street? What street? Is Streetz along the line of being hood? Is it the same thing as being gangster? And again, I told y'all my version of gangster. I mean, my version of what I thought gangster was: wearing nice suits, taking care of your family. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and you know, that was all I had to grow up on what I thought gangster was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I remember when it was nothing but a G thing and Snoop them came out. You know what I'm saying? But prior to that, you had the Godfathers, you had the Italians, you had the like I say, the Asian triad, and you know, and you know, they put a stamp on gangster way before, you know what I'm saying? You know, the big homie Snoop Dizzle, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, you know, so I mean, does that make him a thug? Does that make him, you know, I mean, again, man, these are some things we need to address and talk about as a people. You know what I'm saying? And this is a ongoing conversation and topic. So even though I'm talking about it and addressing it now, in the future, I'm gonna have guests on, guys. All right, let's just be clear. I'm gonna have guests on. I'm not in no rush to have guests on. I think this is the 5th episode, and you know, I get to express myself and how I feel. And I got questions, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, y'all, this is definitely quarantine inspired. And like I say, I'm chilling in the comfort of my own home. You know what I'm saying? And again, shoot, it's all natural. That's one thing I will say. It's all natural. You know, I'm not coming here saying I got the answers. You know what I'm saying? To all of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The whole focus is to create that dialogue. So again, if a person that sag their britches to the point where they walk around with they booty out, is that street? If you illiterate, is that street? You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of bring me to that excuse me, it just kind of brings me to that whole doggone, what I was just gonna say, that doggone that whole illusion, meaning what are the benefits? You know what I'm saying? What are the benefits? You know what I mean? What are the benefits of being street? What are the benefits? I mean, that way I don't miss out on that. And like I say, to be able to keep up with the latest slang, the latest I guess dress code. Is that all? Does that differentiate from the culture and being street? You know what I'm saying? I hope that ain't too confusing. But and let me quit with that but right now I got my little potion mix over here. And what I'm mainly getting at is, if I was to go to a certain area and don't know the lingo, does that exclude me? You know what I'm saying? So like, what are the benefits of being street? Does that mean I live a longer life? You know what I'm saying? Does that mean doggone? Does that like? What am I trying to ask here? You know what I'm saying? Does that make me cooler? You know what I'm saying? And the reason I'm not gonna blame the drink. You know what I'm saying? But this is I want to get the logistics. I want to get the gist of this shit. Meaning, a lot of folk they glorify the streets. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits? Like I've heard entirely too many people talk about how many homies they lost to the streets. Whether it was drugs, whether it was jealousy and envy and hatred. You know what I'm saying? So why would it be cool to embrace the streets? You see what I'm saying? Like why would it be cool? You know, shit, I'm in like middle class suburbia and I got a peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm conservative, man. I'm living a married life and I ain't looking over my shoulders. You know what I mean? I ain't looking over my shoulders and I'm like, shoot, I can sleep at night. You know what I'm saying? What all does the streets entail? All right, if you're a person who's sitting there like, you know what, you got to be street. You got to be street to know the benefits, the pros and cons, and what would make a person say, you know what, I love the street so much that I don't want to do nothing else. This is all I know, and this is what I want to do. And it's like, damn, what would make a person that away? You know what I mean? What would make them that away? If I sag my britches, or get some gold teeth, get a body full of tattoos, does that make me street? No. You ain't got to comment. You ain't got to answer that shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't make it that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that's what make people street. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, man, I'm vibing. And this is the part where many of you guys come in, chime in, you know, and don't be one of them people who again, you know, trying to give me the answers on convert me to make me street, hood, gangster, whatever the case may be. Don't be one of them people for the simple fact. I mean, if you know the beauty of what make the streets, then like I say, feel free to share. You don't have to share, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I'm under the impression that it's codes. I'm all too familiar with codes, you know what I'm saying? And being that if a person is corporate America, if a person is conservative, shit, does that not make he or she street? I mean, does that not make he or she street? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just an interesting topic. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, more than anything, we definitely need to create a dialogue and discuss a lot of issues, and we're gonna dive over deep. This only the beginning. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me, like I was telling my children now, man, from what I know about the streets, I think the streets will swallow you whole. There's no direction for you to go. I think the streets will swallow you whole. If you were to learn the lingo and the signs of what street people deal with, and when I say street people, man, I told, like I said earlier, the ones that could relate to the jungle. You know, more of the wild folk. You know what I'm saying? The wild folk, the ones who got to fend for themselves and figure things out, and that's not domesticated. You know what I'm saying? Them folk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, man. It's one of those topics that deserve a lot of time, discussion, questions, and like I say, man, I'm feeling just right. I'm vibing, and like I say, what I'm gonna end up doing is wrapping it up. And again, we're gonna touch bases in the future on the streets and all those other beautiful topics. And if you took the time to watch this show and watch doggone tipsy old me talk that talk, talk that talk, and shine my teeth. I wasn't born with these teeth, y'all. So any given minute they could pop out. I wasn't born with them. I'm not tatted up. The most of the tats you're gonna see is I got a permanent scar here. I got a permanent scar here. I got a little stab wound here. Does that make me street? I've been to juvenile before. I've been to jail before. I don't like it. It was nothing sexy about it. All right. I've been to juvenile quite a few times ever since I was 8 years old. 8 years old everywhere I've lived. You know what I mean? And you know, if people telling me that was part of being hood or street or gangster, then I don't want shit to do with being gangster, hood, or street, all right? So what I'm going to do is, next time we talk about the streets, I'm going to have somebody that's from the streets or alleged from the streets talk about their viewpoint. And again, man, if you took the time to watch this right here and you were entertained, then please be entertained. You know, if you wish to comment, like, feel free. Leave whatever comment, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? And that's my time, man. Another evening of our random sunset. I am your host, Psych Dolo, and I feel real good. Hope you guys had a blast or learned something or could tell me something or tell the viewer something. And that's my time. Over and out.